Okay, welcome to module 7, where we're going to discuss the static stretches, but in a smarter way. So let's have a look at lesson 1, the truth about static stretches. So we've talked a lot about strength-based flexibility, which is actually obviously quite important for your flexibility progress, but let's also have a look at the static stretching. So if you have realized now that we discussed the foundation and then we talked about strength-based flexibility, and we kind of progress very much like I progress when I teach my classes. So we talked about the foundation, the activation, mobility, the strength-based flexibility, and now we're discussing static. So here we can look after discussing all these points, feeling loose after long stretches, but next day we stiff again, how long we should hold the stretches. Then obviously this is what we are going to look at this session. How deep static stretches hold, the affect the muscle, your nervous system, when and how, and the key to making deep holds actually improve your flexibility. So let's have a look at that, how deep static holds affect your nervous system. So static stretching is when you just hold a stretch without any movement for an extended period. So in flexibility training, it has to be over 30 seconds. So the benefits obviously is lengthening the muscles and the connective tissue. It helps with relaxation, it reduces your nervous system tension, and improve your post-training recovery. So the problem that we see a lot in flexibility is that people can actually overstretch for too long and decrease muscle activation before strength-based movement, overstretching beyond the active range. So if you go beyond your stretch reflex and you haven't strengthened your active range, then you can actually get a bit of joint instability and therefore a bit of injuries as well. And if it's done without strength work, it won't translate into movement. So static stretching itself, it's not bad. It's actually necessary as well for your flexibility progress. But you just need to program it correctly. And that's why very often we do it at the end of the class. So when and how? After strength and mobility work, like I said, never before strength training, always after, during your cool down and also during your restorative. When you want to do something a bit milder as well, keep it easy. When not, you don't want to do it before strength training because you will decrease your power output. You can destabilize your joints. It's not the only form of flexibility training. I think by now we've done 6 modules discussing that it's not the only way to get flexible. Yes, and it doesn't build control. And when you experience joint pain, overstretching, irritated tissues can worsen your imbalances. So please be mindful of that. The key really is balance here. So generally here you've got an amount of seconds, basic flexibility maintenance with this will usually be the one after your workout. Your deep range development will be at least 60 seconds. So this will be mostly in classes that are 45 minutes because we are quite limited as instructors. So I tend to do between 30 and 60 seconds in my classes. And your extreme range will be 60 to 120. Sometimes when I really want my members or my students to get into their nervous system, I force them to stay 2 minutes into a stretch. We're not going to go into the deep stretch such as the split, but we're going to do a stretch to try and relax the nervous system, for example, into a forward fold for 2 minutes. So for obviously optimal results, you will also use progressive overload there as well. You're not going to go straight away into splits and force yourself to stay there for 2 minutes. You are again going to come across resistance. So please stay mindful of this because 60 to 120 for 2 minutes, it's quite advanced as well. So that's why I was explaining. I will make you hold a stretch for 2 minutes, but not in a split, more into a forward fold or a lunge to try and get your body used to this longer holds without excessively putting strain onto your nervous system and your body. So the key takeaway from this lesson is that static stretching should be used strategically and that you need to use it obviously after the strength and mobility, and that the timing that you holding should match your flexibility goals. Yes, so you want to understand how to make it quite smart. So today, I want you to obviously hold the front and middle split, because we're doing the scissor split. Hold the split, compare how it feels before versus after the strength activation, and then adjust your static stretching timing, hold duration based on your goal. Again, progressive overload even in the static stretching. In the second lesson, we are going to go back again at why passive stretching alone isn't enough, how to actively engage your muscle in deep static holds, and what are the best drills. So I will see you in the next lesson.